We've got enough crowd. Got it. Do all of you have to press got it? And it
Yes,
says
Professor.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Whether you have disappeared from the camera. I'd like to see you. I'd like to see you. Where is Anusha? Oh, Anusha is there. Okay, fine. And Anay is missing.
And Pratham is also missing.
Pratham is generally missing because he sleeps late at 2 a.m. in the morning after Bhakti Vriksha. So does Gaurangi, I think, but she wakes up somehow or the other.
Nagarangi is logged in, I think. It's just she's not in the video.
That's okay. She'll appear in a minute. She's probably going to the bathroom or something. But if Mataji can just follow up with Anay, I think. Although I said last week that I don't like to follow up, but maybe just follow it up with him. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Desatarine जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Okay, so welcome back, Srimad Bhagavatam. We are reading from Canto 3, chapter number 13. Please note, we are reading from chapter number 13. Don't ask me halfway through where we are. Yeah, we are reading from chapter number 13. Text number 1, appearance of Lord Varaha. How does Lord Varaha fit into all this all of a sudden? Is something we will try to unravel as we go. For now, let's just see what has happened. Some time ago, long time ago, Lord Brahma got created, and Lord Brahma did not what to do, so he went down the lotus stem, and then he couldn't see Garbhodakshaya Vishnu because he was trying to discover Lord Vishnu on his own attempt, and that is not possible. So he unsuccessfully he came back to the top of the lotus flower and then he started meditating on the Lord. After the Lord gave him some direction of how to meditate, that meditation was bhakti. And when we approach the Lord with bhakti, bhakti amam abhijanati. When we approach the Lord with bhakti, then we can see him. He gives us his darshan. Then the Lord gave Brahma darshan. Long story short, Lord Vishnu told Lord Brahma, "Oh Brahma, please go and do progeny, go and populate the world with different species of life." And then Brahma started endeavoring to populate. So we saw Brahma's struggle in getting the population going. Lots of struggles, such as he got distracted, he got disrespected, he got disturbed, he got what else? Displeased. Uh, what else?
Disturbed.
Disturbed, yeah. What else? Trying to recall myself. Displeased, disrespected,
Disappointed.
disappointed, disgusted sometimes, diverted, digressed, all those deeds that you can think of and keep adding to it. Yeah, so he endeavored all that. Why was Brahma uh, facing all these difficulties, although he was trying to save the Lord? In one short answer, why did he face all these difficulties? Unmute.
Because he
Yes, Gaurangi, go on.
because he did not pray to Krishna before starting.
Yeah, because he was trying to create. Why is Gaurangi glowing today? What did you have for breakfast? Pancake?
I've not had anything still.
Or maybe that's why you're glowing. Empty face makes us glow, yeah. Too much eating is like, oh my God, when will Madhvananda stop so I can go and have my pancake on Saturday morning, if you're lucky. Yeah, so Gauringi is glowing today. Too much bhakti, yeah. Okay, so, or maybe your camera angle is different. Or maybe Brahma is giving his darshan. Something is happening in your house today. Okay, so yeah, so because he was trying to do all this on his own attempt, own endeavor without the support of the Lord. And then after that, what did do Brahma do? Brahma then finally, when he kind of gave up, sometimes when we try to do homework on our own and we give up, and then we go to the parents or to the teacher to say, I can't handle this. I don't know the answer. And that's when the teacher says, "Arey, you could have come to me so much earlier. I could have guided you. It's as simple as 1 into a plus b is equal to 1a plus 1b, and then you are done. Otherwise you figure out how do you add a and b. It's not possible. But teacher says, yep, no, 1a plus 1b, whatever. So like that. So the Lord told him, and then when Brahma meditated on the Lord did not even give darshan at the back end of the last chapter. Yeah, the Lord immediately sent forth two personalities through Brahma's body, and they were who?
Manu
Tanvir?
and Satyavata.
Close. You may have your own Bhagavatam, very
Manu
soon.
and Satarupa.
Manu and Satrupa. Remember these two names. If you can't, no worries, because these names will appear so many times that eventually you will get used to this. Ane, your video is off. If you can turn it on at some stage. Navav and Dhruv, your video was on, but then you disappeared. Oh, Pratham has woken up. Pratham Vacha, how are you?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. You missed. Yeah, I missed you last week as well.
Actually,
But
we don't have Anay, but we have Anya.
oh,
So,
Anya. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, so then Manu and Satrupa took appearance, and then Manu and Satrupa immediately generated five children. Who were these five children? Who remembers without looking in the book? Yes,
I
Tanvik.
3 girls and 2 boys.
Yeah, Tanvik, let Tanvik answer without looking in the book. Yes, Tanvik.
Priyavrata and Uttanapada.
Were the two boys? Yes.
Prasuti, Devahuti,
Uh-huh.
and Akuti.
Very good. Akuti, Prasuti, Devahuti, and Uttanapad and Priyavrata. Without looking at your book.
I didn't look at the book.
No, I'm saying for the next question because I think it was there. Only answer me one at a time. Yeah, I'm just gonna test without looking in the book. If you don't know, don't be embarrassed. It's fine. Who was the husband of Akuti? Raise your hand. Yes, Tanvik.
Sage Ruchi.
Very good. Who was the husband of Devahuti? Raise your hand. Yes, Anusha. Anusha. Kardama Muni. Who was the husband of who's left? Akuti, Prasuti.
Daska.
Daska, very good. Yeah, Daksha. Yeah. He just changed his name slightly. Let's call him Ozi Daksha. Daksha. Yes, so Daksha, very good. Now, who was the wife of Uttanapad? Raise your hand.
Suruchi and Suniti.
Who said that? Who said that? Take your name.
Vaidehi.
Vaidehi. Okay. Vaidehi, I wanted you to raise your hand though.
Oh.
And then who's left? Who's the wife of Priyavrata? Don't get hints from your parents. Wife of Priyavrata. Nobody knows? Don't worry. I also don't know. But I know it starts with B. Brahmari or something like that. I always get confused with the last name. As human beings, we get 80% things done very quickly and 20% we struggle. For so many years, I've been trying to memorize the name of Priyavrata. I'm pretty sure it's Brahmari, but I'm not 100% sure. That's why I don't want you to learn at the moment until Bhagavatam tells us. Maybe Zarna Mataji can Google, post it in the group. The five husbands. If you can find a nice picture somewhere, it will be better. The five children and their wives. Don't go to their children yet. Yeah, children's children. And they stop there. So anyway, so Manu and Satrupa, excuse me, generated Akuti, Prasuti, Devahuti, Uttanapad, and Priyavrata, and then they got married. Priyavrata's wife was not mentioned in the last sentences of the chapter, but the others were. So we start from chapter number 13. Shri, I'll come to you in a second. Yeah. So actually, let's take Shriya's question, then I'll come to chapter number 13. Yeah, Shriya.
His wife was Bharismati.
Brahmati, yes. See, I told you not to learn from me because I was wrong. Brahmati, correct. That's the one that I struggle. You teach me, yeah, her name, and I'll learn over the course of chapter number 13. Brahmati is correct. Don't laugh, but I tried to remember her as a Basmati. And then I hate everything else because I'm struggling so much, right? So one day I thought I'll remember her name is Basmati, which I also forgot. So if I remember Basmati, I can remember Brahmati. Oh, Madhuranda, poor guy. So how does Lord Vara fit into the picture all of a sudden? Let's park that question. Don't worry about this chapter about Lord Vara. But I'll tell you one thing, which you can apply for many chapters in Prabhupada's books. Prabhupada a lot of time gives the title of the chapter, most of the time, almost like 80% of the time, based on what happens at the end of the chapter, rather than what happens at the beginning of the chapter, or rather than what happens at the middle of the chapter. Sometimes it will be because if it's so important. A lot of times Prabhupada's title will be based on what happens at the end of the chapter. In that case, Lord Varaha appearance in this chapter is not the most important thing in this chapter. Why? Because Lord Varaha will be the central focus of many more chapters to come, next 3 or 4 chapters, excluding this chapter. No? So from chapter, let's say 14 onwards, we'll focus on Lord Vara. For 13 is not so much to do with Vara. So what is this chapter to do with? We had some guesses last week, remember? Anay said that it could be that now these boys will be fighting for the land. Some of you said that maybe this population will be equally bad. Some of you said maybe this population will be good. We don't know. But let's find out today what is the central focus of this particular chapter. Chapter number 13, Appearance of Lord Vara, text number 1. Any questions so far in terms of the storyline before we go into chapter 13? Your final chance to ask me anything hitherto. Now, all good? Okay, let's go. Text number. Oh, Aradhya has got a question. Yes, Aradhya.
Prabhuji, Brahma was meditating on Krishna before he started the creation. So, like, isn't that he prayed to the Lord, like he was doing tapa before he created?
Yeah.
So, and he got the darshan of the Lord, he got the instruction of the Lord.
Yeah.
So, isn't it like he took shelter of the Lord and then started his
Yeah.
creation?
Brilliant question. Very, very brilliant question. You know, Brahma had already meditated on the Lord and taken his darshan and was instructed by the Lord and blessed by the Lord. So then why did he face so many difficulties? Very, very nice question. Very, really practical application question. Who can answer, Aradhya? Yes, Tanvik.
Even though Brahma prayed to Lord Vishnu when he was created, he also has to ask permission for help before he does the creation.
Yeah,
Because
nice try.
he
Yeah, good.
doesn't know if he doesn't know what to do of creation and he just creates progeny and then he gets like crazy people going around and disturbing
Crazy people. Yes, Ronit.
the universe, then
That's okay,
it will
Tanvik. I
be
want to
not
Tanvik, I
good
want to hear from
progeny.
yes, Tanvik. I want to hear from others as well quickly. Yeah. Yes, Ronit. I got your point, Tanvik. Fully.
I
Yeah.
was just
Ronit.
putting my pencil up. I was not raising
Arey
my
Baba, yeah. Put your pencil down somewhere. Not don't raise it. Yes, Shreya.
Is it because he kept assigning wrong people to do the wrong tasks and then
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, there's no right or wrong answer. But yes, Gorangi, last try.
Prabhuji, I think that Brahma, he was still not be able to do it because usually when you start the creation, when he faces challenges, you should first go and ask help from the Lord. But Brahma did not do that, and he still continued. That's why
Okay.
he more
Yep.
challenges.
Okay. So this is the best answer. How many rounds are we supposed to chant?
16
That's it.
or 64.
16.
16. That's it. 16 in one's lifetime, and we are done. We are going back to Godhead.
Unlimited.
16 rounds, and we'll go back to Godhead. Agree? Disagree?
No, every day, Prabhuji.
Every day.
So
Every day is the answer now. So now apply it to Brahma's life. And answer are there. Get your mind exploding in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning.
So Brahma has to pray to Lord Shri Krishna every morning.
Not morning, every second. We should be meditating on the Lord every moment. That's what Prabhupada said, chant minimum 16 rounds daily. He didn't say chant minimum 16 rounds weekly or monthly or yearly or once in a lifetime, and you'll go back to Brahma, to Godhead. So we need to meditate on the Lord every moment of our life, in every endeavor, Of course, a lot of times it's not going to be possible or practical, but whenever so what's the practical application for us in our life? Excuse me, whenever we take big endeavors, big projects, big seva, big activities, we should meditate on the Lord. For example, if your Guru Maharaj has said, or your parents Guru Maharaj has said, I want you to take part in this drama in Janmashtami. So before you start practicing rehearsals and all that, you meditate on your parents' spiritual master. Now, what happens when you are taking part in the next program, which is Gaur Purnima? You are supposed to do drama again. You don't forget your spiritual master. You don't forget Krishna. You meditate on them again, and then again undertake the performance, or in your exams or whatever. So meditate on the Lord continuously is the answer, not just once off in the morning and once off in your lifetime, and we are done. That is not right. Radhe, are you satisfied with that answer?
I have a question.
Yes.
Prabhuji, this is Atin. Prabhuji, but you just said that we have to meditate on the Lord every time. So
Yeah.
how can we meditate if we have to do if we're doing something else, then how can we meditate on the Lord?
It is like, when you are hungry, what are you thinking of? 3 things. Minimum. Hunger, 1, 2. Food,
Hunger.
2, 3.
How's the food gonna taste?
Huh?
How's the food gonna taste?
Oh yeah, okay, taste of the food. Third thing, the most important thing.
How long
Offer
will
to
you-
Krishna. When will I get the food?
When will I get the food? Probably the most important thing to me would be, in your case, mummy. You'll meditate on the hunger, you'll meditate on the food, and you'll meditate on mummy. When will mummy wake up? When will she come back from, her office? When will she get off the meeting so that I can get the food? So yeah, you're meditating on hunger, you're meditating on food, but you're also meditating on your mummy or on your daddy, whoever that may be. Mummy and daddy both maybe. So see, you can always, when we are occupied with something, you can always think of other things as well. Simultaneously, it happens. What about, when you are in the temple theater, in a class, what are you meditating on? When will this class end so I can go and play in the courtyard with my mates? It's like that. So yes, you are in your class, but you are also meditating on your friends. Why has Anusha not come yet? Because will she come? Because I want to play piggy tag with her, something like that. So you're meditating on Anusha while you are listening the lecture. So like that, So we just apply it in our life as we are doing things. Yeah. Okay. Text number 1. Let's proceed because it's 20
Ravi,
past.
I have one question.
No, because then how will I cover text number 1? Can you ask your question at the back end? Maybe I would love to take your questions. Okay, you ask your question, maybe I'll answer deciding on when I want to answer. Yes, go ahead.
Prabhuji, you told that next class you will figure out. Last class I asked that what happened to Brahma's daughter works.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't figure out. I forgot Kaliyaga memory. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, when it comes, it comes. I don't think Bhagavatam mentions too much about her, to be honest. I'm going to proceed. I'm going to park your question for now because it's 20 past. I got to cover some bases. Yeah, text number 1. Who wants to read?
Me.
Ronit, start.
Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, O king, after hearing all these most virtuous topics from the sage Maitreya, Vidura inquired further on the topics of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which he adored to hear.
Okay, so another thing to learn, as I told you about one tip, that Prabhupada titles his chapters depending on what is kind of happening at the back end of the chapter. Another thing to note is in Bhagavatam, whenever the storyline is continuing, there will be a lot of interconnecting verses. When I say interconnecting, I mean you kind of the focus is not so much on the overall storyline, but in terms of, I won't call it digression, but in terms of interconnecting the two storylines. So far, what has happened? What was the main theme in the storyline hitherto? The storyline was Brahma's struggle to create, and then finally at the end, some success, seems like success of Manu and Satrupa. That's where it stopped. Now what has happened? Sukadeva Goswami tells who? Maharaj Parikshit, which is Bhagavatam discussed at the banks of Ganges. Sukadeva Goswami is telling Maharaj Parikshit that, O king, matlab King Maharaj Parikshit, after hearing all these virtuous topics of sage Maitreya, Vidura inquired further. So see how there is double nested conversation going on. One speaker is Sukadeva Goswami. I want you to not remember, but just learn all this so that we can apply this again when it comes. Sukadeva Goswami is telling Maharaj Parikshit that Vidura was satisfied with Maitreya Muni's lecture and inquired further. You get it? So see, this is nothing to do with Brahma or Vishnu or Brahma's progeny or Manu Satrupa story, nothing to do with it. It's just about the lecturer and the hero. Gaurangi, I'll come to your question. Let me just make a lot of points. I'll come to your question. I won't forget. So I'll repeat. Sukadeva Goswami is telling Maharaj Parikshit that Vidura was satisfied with Maitreya Muni's lecture and inquired further. Why did he inquire further? Because, answer me.
He wanted to hear more.
Yeah, what more? Why did he inquire more?
What did the progeny come out to be?
Yeah, what else? What's the main thing?
What did Brahma do next?
Yeah. Why is Vidura satisfied? Why is Vidura happy to hear more and not go and play in the courtyard? Because he's too old to play
Because
anyway.
he's interested in it.
Because he's interested in it. What did Sukadeva Goswami say? Which he adored to hear. I just wanted you to capture your comprehension at the moment. Yeah. Sukadeva Goswami gives the answer. It was just not a tricky question, but an obvious question. Because he says, he inquired further on the topics of personality of Godhead, which he adored to hear. He loved to hear. So he stayed back. Otherwise, he would have run away. So as I said, nothing to do with the storyline for now. He just adores to hear Maitreya Muni. Why is he adoring to hear Maitreya Muni? What do you think? Because why is he
He's
adoring?
interested in it.
Prabhuji is interested and he really wants to hear about
He's
the
interested in what?
Prabhuji,
hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam.
In philosophy of Lord Krishna.
He inquired further. Again, the answer is given in the English. He inquired further on the topics of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Matlab, Hari Katha. Vidura is interested in Krishna Katha and therefore he adores it and therefore he inquires further. Otherwise, Vidura could have also said, Maitreya Muni, enough here. We have done what? 2 cantos and now we are, on chapter 13 of the 3rd canto. Can we take a break? Because, I have to go and play cricket. Now, he could have said that. No?
chapter 13.
Yeah, we are on chapter 13, right? Yeah, he could have said, 13 chapter, Maitreya Muni, stop now. I need to go, mate. He didn't say that. He adored. So just like you wake up early in the morning, like Pratham, for example, he goes to Bhakti Vriksha and wakes up early in the morning. Why? Because he adores to hear the topics of Srimad Bhagavatam. Otherwise, he won't wake up. Like that. So he adores. Next point. Text number 2. Tanvik. Text number 2, Anusha.
Vidura said, "O great sage, what did Swayambhuva, the dear son of Brahma, do after obtaining his very loving wife?"
Okay, so now we see immediately after the connecting verse, we come back to the storyline. Gaurangi, what's your question? Because I know you are bubbling like soda water to ask your question. Go ahead.
Prabhuji, sir, am I right that Sukadev Goswami, am I right that Brahma's when pastime was happening, like in the spiritual world, Vidura was, Maitreya Muni was describing that to Vidura, and Sukadev Goswami was saying the story that Maitreya Muni is describing that to Vidura.
Yes, but it is not happening simultaneously. It is happening at different times.
Yeah.
That's all. Just the same story, I'm reciting it to you. And in future, you will recite it to, the other students that will come under your shelter. So like that, it's happening not simultaneously, but at different discrete points in time in life. So we are coming back to the storyline. Vidura said, what did Vidura say? In other words, let's remember Vidura's question, because this question will be answered for the rest of maybe 3, 4, 5 chapters. What was the question? Oh, sage, who's the sage? Oh, great sage. Who's the sage?
Maitreya
Maitreya Muni. So Vidura is saying, oh, great sage Maitreya, what did Swayambhuva Manu, the dear son of Brahma, do? Can you remember this question? Vidura's question, what did Swayambhuva Manu do? It's a natural question, isn't it? Because we ended the last chapter with Swayambhuva Manu's creation. And his question is, what did he do? Very simple. And when he says, what does he do? What does he actually mean? What does he actually mean? What did he do? What do you think? What is the loaded question here? What do you think he's thinking? Connecting to the storyline. Come on. It's not hard. Connect it to the storyline. When he says, what did he do? What do you think?
Like when creating progeny, what their progeny come out to be?
Yeah, exactly. What did he do? Is like, was he successful with the progeny? Was he unsuccessful? Were there bad progeny? Was there a good progeny? Did he make mistakes like his father Brahma? Did he see Lord Vishnu? Natural things, that has already happened in the storyline. So he's asking that question. What did he do? 1 second. What did he do? Obtaining his very loving wife. Who was the wife? Satrupa. So then his question is what? Remember this for next 3 or 4 months. Vidura's question is, oh sage Maitreya, what did Manu and Satrupa do? Simple. Okay, who was asking a question? Quick.
Me, Yatin.
Yes, Yatin.
So, Prabhuji, is this true that it's like a comment, but is this true? So that whatever Sukadev Goswami sent to Parikshit Maharaj, it is all what Maitreya Muni said to Vidura.
That is true. And the same thing that Sutta Goswami told Saunaka Rishi and the sages of Naimisharanya. It is true. And the
So
same thing.
all are saying the same thing.
All the same thing. Correct. All the same thing.
But just they're saying in different words.
Yes. Perhaps a lot of them will be same words as well. Like record and play. Copy and paste. Okay. Text number 3. Who is next in my screen?
What can I read?
You just read, didn't you?
No.
Okay, read. Anusha read.
Let's
Anusha,
read.
Anusha, Gaurangi, then Shriya, then Kashvika. That's the order, yeah? Just be
Okay.
ready.
O best of the virtuous, the original King of Kings,
Manu was a great devotee of the personality of Godhead, Hari, and thus it is worth hearing of his sublime character and activities. Please describe them. I am very eager to hear.
So why another thing? So Vidura was adoring the topic, and he wants to hear more about Manu. Why does he want to hear more about Manu? Because answer. I'm testing your comprehension.
Because he wanted to know about the progeny. Like Manu created the progeny with Satrupa. That's why.
No, yeah, okay, that's probably one answer which we already answered. But what extra
He
things we
wanted
find
to
in this
know.
verse?
He wanted to know maybe like how, like if they did it like the 11 Rudras, if the like
No,
they
no,
did like
no,
very
no,
bad
no, no.
Prabhuji.
I'm giving you a clue. I'm just testing your comprehension.
Prabhuji, he wanted to know because he's a great devotee of the personality.
Yes, he is a great devotee. Because even whether his progeny was successful or not successful, who cares? Devotees are not caring about topics that has got nothing to do with Krishna. So he clarifies that yes, the storyline I'm adoring because it's Harikatha. But then if you're interested in Harikatha, why do you want to know about Manu and Satrupa? Why? Because Manu, he says, was a great devotee of Godhead Hari. So there's two types of katha we can hear. Remember this as well. This all will come in your quiz. One is Hari Katha, the other one is Vaishnava Katha. Both of them are purifying. Hari Katha is undoubtedly purifying, no problems at all. But Vaishnava Katha is also purifying. For example, if you read Prabhupada Lilamrita, or if you read Bhagavatam, it has got the same impact. Both of them will infuse our bhakti. In my own experience, personally speaking, to be honest, very honest with you, I found Prabhupada Lilamrita probably one of the best books in ISKCON. When I read it, I was bamboozled, to the point that I started reading it second time. Of course, didn't finish it second time, ran out of time. But it's a book that I wanted to read again and again. It's very, very sweet. If you have not read Prabhupada Lilamrita, you guys should, because you are at the right age to read that book. Don't wait for your parents to give you that book. As in they are reading, then you are reading. You pick up Prabhupada Lilamrita, I can trust you. You trust me, you will not put the book down. It is very, very addictive just to read Prabhupada Lilamrita. So please read Prabhupada Lilamrita. I have an aim to read the whole set in 1 year's time. So today is 20th of May. Come back to me 20th of June, 20th of July, and tell me how much have you read. Just bump into me in the courtyard and tell me how much have you read. So Vaishnava Katha, Prabhupada Katha is very, very purifying and very, very realistic, because we know Prabhupada, yeah, so we can relate to it. Whereas it's quite difficult sometimes to relate to Maitreya Muni and Vidura and so on and so forth. So read Prabhupada Lilamrita, and I'll give you a quiz on that as well, like a fun quiz. So Vidura, 1 second. So Vidura is interested to know Hari Katha, and he's also interested equally to know Vaishnava Katha. It so happens that Manu and Satrupa are going to progenate, so he's interested in the storyline, but it is only because he's a Vaishnava. Yes, question?
Prabhuji, when was Vidura listening to all
Maitreya.
this katha from Maitreya?
We answered that in the previous chapters, Ronit. When Vidura left Hastinapur, he was wandering around in the forest. Then he met Uddhava and all that. Correct. Kashvika, you got a question?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
What does Keta mean?
Katha means stories. So Vaishnava stories, in past times you can say Vaishnava pastimes or Vaishnava stories. Or Vaishnava means devotee. So devotee stories about devotees or stories about Krishna. Is that okay, Kashvika? Okay, next one. Text number 4. Who was I said? Gorangi, your turn.
Yes, Prabhuji. Text number 4. Translations. Persons who hear from a great spiritual master with great labor and for a long time must hear the mouths of a pure devotee about the character and activities of a pure devotee. Pure devotees always think within their hearts of the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead, who awards his devotees liberation.
So this is the exact point that Shriya made. That Vidura is interested in the Vaishnava Katha because Manu happens to be a Vaishnava, and that's why he's eager. Text number 5. Shriya, your turn actually. And then after this is Kashvika, and then Pratham, and then Chaitanya.
Sri Sukadev Goswami said, the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, was pleased to place his lotus feet on the lap of Vidura because Vidura was very meek and gentle. The sage Maitreya was very pleased with Vidura's words, and being influenced by his spirit, he attempted to speak.
Okay, so this is the last of the interconnecting verses, is the way I try to see it. So Sukdev Goswami we are back to Sukdev Goswami. At the moment, who was speaking? Vidura. Now Sukdev Goswami is speaking. Immediately we know he's speaking to Maharaj Parikshit. What did he say? That after hearing the inquisitive words of Vidura, Maitreya Muni was very pleased. Why is Maitreya Muni pleased? Why do you think he's pleased?
Because Vidura respects him and he wants to hear more about the bhaktas and
Yeah.
Krishna.
Yeah,
Prabhuji,
who
can I
else?
say?
Yes.
Because
Yeah, go on.
no, because he's learning. He's getting to know more about the Vaishnav Katha.
Yeah, very good, Shreya.
It's
All
because
of you should also try to, learn little, I mean, not learn, but try to follow Gorangi and Shreya when it comes to speaking, because you'll always notice that, both of them raise their hand when they want to speak. So that, so that it allows me the time to select, rather than only one person speaking every time. It's just a nice culture, I think, that all of us can develop, Whenever I say, raise your hand, then you should raise your hand. If I say, don't raise your hand, then you can all speak, yeah? So you'll always notice that Shreya and Gorangi will raise their hand. Just notice it on the cameras, yeah? Yes, Gorangi, go ahead. And then Shreya. Oh, no, Shreya, your turn now.
yeah.
Gorangi already answered, yes.
It's because when Vidura was always inquisitive to learn about Harikatha, it gave Maitreya Muni a chance to speak about it.
Yeah, a brilliant point, because Maitreya Muni, unless you all are happy to hear Bhagavatam, I don't get a chance to speak. I enjoy Bhagavatam naturally. But unless you are ready to hear, I've got nothing to speak. And reading alone can be slightly less interesting as reading with everybody else. So this is a win-win situation. Vidura is an inquisitive hearer. Maitreya is an enthusiastic speaker. It's a brilliant combination of a preacher and a lecturer. So that all sums up. So bring it all together. What has happened? Vidura inquired, Maitreya Muni, you told me about Brahma's struggle. Then you told me that Brahma created Manu and Satrupa, and then the 5 children, Akuti, Prasuti, Devahuti, Priyavrata, and Uttanapad. And then you told him that Prasuti got married to Daksha, Akuti got married to Ruchi, and then Devahuti married to Kardama Muni. Priyavrata got married to Brahmasmati. Did I get that right? And then Uttanapad got married to Suniti and Surichi. No, Brahmasmati, I got wrong. Yatin, okay. Yatin, can you turn off the flicking light? It's distracting. So then so then what? So then Vidura said, no, tell me more about what did Manu and Satrupa do. And then he said that Manu and Satrupa are devotees, so I'm eager to hear devotee katha. Then he said that Manu and Satrupa are always meditating on the Lord, so I also want to hear about Hari Katha. And then Maitreya Muni finally said that I'm very pleased with Vidura, your wonderful inquisitiveness and questions. And then he began to speak. Where's Rudransh gone? Your hand was up, mate. Your virtual hand was up. Did you have a point to make or a question, or was it accidental? Rudransh.
Accidental.
Okay, let's move on. Okay, so now we go back to the storyline. Maitreya Muni will answer Vidura's question. What is Vidura's question?
That he wants.
What happened to the hand? What happened to the hand now? When I praised you, then you forget to put your hand up. Oh, Krishna. What happened? What was Vidura's question, Pratham? Pratham, what was Vidura's question?
He was
Avyu-
very
Yeah, go.
eager to hear about Krishna.
That's his disposition. That's his nature. But what's his question, Anusha?
Vidura's question what did Swayambhuva Manu do after obtaining his wife?
And I told you that I want you to remember this question for the next 2 or 3 months, because that's what we will be answering. Yeah, let's go. Let's start seeing the answers. What happened to Manu and Satrupa? Text number 6. Pratham.
6, 5.
6 or 5, whatever it is. 5, I think. 6. No,
Yeah,
6. Huh?
I read number 5.
6.
Oh, okay. 6.
It's
Whatever.
actually 6 because Shreya read 5 and
Yeah, 6. Pratham read 6. I'll read 5 anyway, just in case we missed it out. Text number 5 was Sukdev Goswami said the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna was pleased to place his lotus feet on the lap of Vidura because Vidura was very meek and gentle. The sage Maitreya was very pleased with Vidura's words. That's the point we were discussing. And being influenced by his spirit, he attended to speak. Pratham, text number 6, please.
The sage Maitreya said to Vidura, after his appearance, Manu, the father of mankind, along with his wife, thus addressed the reservoir of Vedic wisdom, Brahma, with obeisances and folded hands.
So now we got back. So after that interconnecting verses, we get back to the storyline again. Yeah, what happened? The Maitreya said to Vidura, after the appearance of Manu, whom did Manu appear from? Brahma, the father of mankind, along with his wife, which is Satrupa, thus addressed the reservoir of Vedic wisdom, Brahma, with two things, obeisances and folded hands. What does that tell us about Manu now? What kind of person is he?
Respectful.
Oh, hand. Respectfully, hands up. What does it tell you about the nature of Manu, Trisha?
Huh?
Huh?
What did you ask? Can you please repeat it?
What do after learning that Manu has folded his hands and paid obeisances to Brahma, what does it tell us about his nature?
It tells that he loves to pray to God and give all his obeisances to him.
Yeah, okay. Anya, don't raise your virtual hand. Yeah, when I say raise your hand, I mean to say raise your physical hand. If you raise your virtual hand, then what happens? Nobody raises their virtual hand in this session because it moves the camera, and then I struggle to locate you again. So stay where you are and just raise your natural hand rather than virtual hand. Yeah. Okay, Anya, sorry.
Me?
Yeah, you, Anya.
He really cares about praying to God, and he's really spiritual.
Yeah, not really praying to God. Yeah, this is obeisances and respect to his father. Yeah, Shreya?
He's like disciplined and he has etiquette and he's like obedient.
Yeah, he's more obedient. Obedient is the word that I was looking at. He's more obedient, unlike, the four Kumaras who were disobedient and displeased Brahma. This person seems to be more obedient, So it's always giving us an indication that something good is about to happen, rather than the Rudra episode, when Rudra was also very obedient, but he was of the different nature, so the creation didn't take place nicely. Well, we get some subtle hint that something good is about to happen because Manu is already a devotee. On top of that, now we see he's not a puffed up devotee is the point. Because although he was a devotee, Vidura said, but he's not a puffed up devotee, yeah. He's a very obedient devotee. We can have two types of devotees, yeah. We see it in our situations, right? Sometimes we can be puffed up, sometimes we can be meek and humble. So he's a very meek and humble devotee. Chaitanya?
Can I read, Prabhuji?
After Kashvika, yes.
Okay.
Kashvika, do you want to read text number 7?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Go ahead.
You are the father of all living entities and the source of your subsistence because they are all born of you. Please order us how we may be able to render service unto you.
Oh, proper reading, Kashvika. I'm impressed. At your age, that is pretty good reading, to be honest. Subsistence, you also pronounced correctly. You guys are different. You are all born Aussies or Aussie schoolers here. I, at your age, would struggle to pronounce the word subsistence. It's pretty good. Pretty good, actually. See, devotee kids are so blessed. So blessed. Okay, so what did he say? You are the father of living entities, the source of their subsistence because they are all born of you. Please. So now look at the third thing he said. Firstly, we know he's a devotee. Secondly, we know he's very obedient. Then what did he say? Please order us how we may be able to render service unto you. He's not saying, please tell me, please guide me, please see if I'm useful, please order me. Very, very obedient is the point that we get. Please order me, instruct me and I'll do it. That's it, simple. No place of, arguing or disrespecting or whatever. Just please order and we'll do. What was Vidura's question? Anusha, what was Vidura's question?
Brody's question to start was for 1 minute.
Prabhuji, can I?
Yes, Gaurangi, go ahead.
The Vidura's question was, "Oh great sage Maitreya, what did Manu and Satrupa do?"
Yeah, well, too many words. Just say, asked what did Manu and Satrupa do? I just want very, very, simple, concise words. But what did, in your own words, what did Manu and Satrupa do? So now we see what did Manu and Satrupa do. What did they do?
They
And Vaidhi,
They created progeny.
did they create progeny? No, they just said how we may save you. That's all they said. Up till 8, up till text number 7, they are saying, please order us how we may save you. That's all we know for now, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's see, text number 8, Chaitanya.
O worshipful one, please give us your direction for the execution of duty within our working capacity, so that we can follow it for our fame in this life and progress in the next.
So now they are saying, give us your order, how we may save you according to our working capacity. Can you remember this as well? Why? Because Brahma told Rudras to create, which was a mismatch. Now Manu and Satrupa are very careful to say, please don't tell us to do something that is not matching our working capacity. For example, if Brahma was to tell Manu and Satrupa, go and destroy the world, or go and give avidya, ignorance to everybody, they will struggle. It's not their nature. Their nature is more creation rather than destruction. So Brahma made a mistake with Rudras to tell them to create when their nature is to destroy. Manu and Satrupa already know their nature is creation, creation, creation. If Brahma tells them to destroy, they will struggle. It's not their working capacity. So it is okay for us. The lesson that we learn is, as devotees, when we are asked to do something, it is fine to say this is within my capacity or this is not within my capacity. For example, if somebody asks me to go and cook in the kitchen, in the temple, I will struggle with it because it's not my nature to cook. But if somebody tells me to go and lecture in Srimad Bhagavatam class, I'll joyfully put my hand up because it's my nature, yeah. So it's fine to do seva to Krishna according to our aptitude and our desire, and according to our capacity and according to our nature and all that thing, yeah. Although Prabhupada also told us that time to time we should push ourselves extra. If you don't know how to do it, try to learn how to do it. At least attempt to learn to do it. Then if you are really, really struggling, then maybe you can give up that service. So for like that. For example, in your case, if you're not good with music, still try to learn the mridanga and learn the karta. You may not learn, or you might become beautifully, a good player. Who knows? But you should always try. We should always try. Only then we'll find out whether we are good or not. Okay. So what did they say? Please order us what to do and tell us how we can save you according to our working capacity. I want you to remember the word working capacity. If you forget working, fine. Remember capacity at least, yeah? According to our capacity. Text number, whatever the next text is. Avyakt.
Lord Brahma said, "My dear son, O Lord of the world, I am very pleased with you, and I desire all blessings for both you and your wife. You have without reservation surrendered yourself unto me with your heart for my instructions."
Okay, so how did Brahma feel? What was Brahma's reactions to Manu and Satrupa? Shriya?
He was very pleased with them, and he was satisfied that he has good children.
He was very pleased. And Shriya, what was Brahma's reaction to the four Kumaras?
He was like
Displeased.
Displeased. So see how see the two things. He was displeased with the four Kumaras. No, he was disrespected with the four Kumaras. Whom was he displeased with? Even the four Kumaras, he was displeased, yeah? And with the Rudras and all that. So there he was all displeased, distracted, disrespected, digressed, whatever. Now he is pleased. Aradhya, don't put your virtual hand up. Just put your natural hand up, yeah, if you want to speak, because it changes the video. So he was pleased now. You can see the contrast, yeah? One displeased, one pleased. So he's pleased with Manu. Why is he pleased? Chaitanya, why is he pleased with Manu?
Because from the verse I read, right? From the verse I read, right?
Anything. Overall thinking, your understanding of the situation. explode your mind in the morning.
Like in the capacity, like
Yeah, he's very
Yeah.
submissive and all that,
I
no?
was remembering the keyword. Like,
Anusha?
Manu was being really obedient and
Yeah, very, very. Now, how you gonna please your parents? What would be some ways to please your parents? Pratham,
Whatever homework they give you, then you have to obey it, because sometimes I just say I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that.
my goodness, sometimes he is not wanting to do it. How you gonna please your parents, Anya?
Listen to them, thank them, help them.
Thank them, help them, yeah, thank them. Okay, how you gonna please your parents, Avyut?
by listening to the instructions.
Follow the instructions. Anusha, how do you please your parents?
study well and do devotional service properly.
Yeah, Vedi, how do you displease your parents? Not you, as in like how can one, maybe rephrase the question. How can one displease their parents?
By not listening to them and not following their instructions and doing the exact opposite.
Yeah, Yatin, how can one displease their parents?
So not doing what the parents say, doing like the opposite.
Yeah. How Yatin, how can you displease me?
I don't know.
I can tell you by flashing your camera light on your screen. That's what displeases me. What? Who else? Gaurangi, how can you displease me? By speaking without raising your hand. Pratham already answered. Who's left? Kashvika? How can you, who wants to talk? Yeah, somebody. Yeah, Tanvik, how can you displease your parents?
Like talking back.
Yes, by talking back. True, true. How many of you talk back?
I talk
Naughty boys, naughty
back
girls.
about 20%, but 80%.
Do you regret?
Yeah, mostly I won't.
Yeah. Do you get what's the word? Detention? Is that the word? No, not detention. What's the word? Time out? No, time out, yeah? No?
Scolded. Time out.
Time out, yeah.
Grounded.
Yeah. Grounded.
Grounded.
What's that grounded?
I don't
Hi, Krishna. You get grounded by the parents.
Prabhuji, in our house, we don't have any sort of thing like that. If we do anything wrong sometimes or say anything wrong, we just get it.
You get what? You get it?
Yeah.
You get it what? You get what?
No, we get slapped and hit.
Oh, slapped. But very gently slapped in it, although it's not a like gentle slap. I
No,
think.
it's actually very hard.
Okay, this is not recorded.
This is not recorded for quality and training purposes. Yes, Shriya.
Prabhuji, what's the question?
How do you displease your parents? What did I say? What was the question? I forgot.
Prabhuji,
How do I
Yeah.
displease my parents? Okay.
Yeah,
By
no, I think
being
it was more like what do the parents do when you are displeasing them? That's what the question I think.
they don't do anything. They just don't talk.
Yeah, just they don't talk. Yeah, that's true. I do that with Krishnit. If I'm
And I just ignore them as well. So.
yeah, Krishnit and I have got this informal understanding that when we are angry at each other, we just move apart for some time. Give it some time. Because if I'm angry, I might do things that I will regret later, and he may talk back, which he will regret later. So we just take distance. He goes to his room. I pick up Srimad Bhagavatam or my chanting beads, or get busy with something else. And then after some time, we kind of both forget, that we had a fight. Fight is in, misunderstanding, angry. Okay, so let's come back to Bhagavatam. Yeah. So Kashvika, yes. Last question.
Prabhuji, I got one for respecting parents.
Yes. Tell me.
Take their blessings.
Yeah, take the blessings. Yeah, if your parents are pleased, they'll bless you. That is very true. So anyway, back to the storyline, we see that Brahma is pleased with his child Manu and his daughter-in-law Satrupa. And Manu and Satrupa are very obedient, respectful, very submissive, and ready to follow their orders according to their capacity. Text number, whatever it is. Number?
9, I think so.
Yep, go ahead. 9 we read. 9 we read, I think.
It's 10.
10.
Yeah, it's 10.
10.
O hero, your example is quite befitting a son in relationship with his fathers. This sort of adoration for the superior is required. One who is beyond the limit of envy and who is sane accepts the order of his father with great delight and executes it to his full capacity.
Who's talking, Navav? Who's talking?
Me.
No, I know you're talking. As in, who's talking? That's the right answer as well. Who's talking in the storyline? Who's speaking this verse?
Lord Brahma.
Very good, Lord Brahma. So Manu said what? I want to remember this as well. Manu said, tell me what to do according to my capacity. What did Brahma say? Because you are an obedient son and you are the devotee of the Lord, you will be able to, whatever I am telling you, you will follow it with full delight according to your full capacity. Can you pick up the word full capacity in translation? So beautiful, right? Such a beautiful interaction coming between father and son, or the servant and the master. One is saying, please tell me what to do. How can I serve you according to my full capacity? The other one is saying, I know that you are the devotee of the Lord, and because you are obedient, you will be able to execute my order with full capacity. So sweet, you know. It's like teacher telling you to do this, and you are saying, can I just do this homework according to my capacity? And then I'm saying that, yes, you will be able to do it with your full capacity. And I have kind of, you'll see me experiencing this with you. Yeah. Whenever I give you homework, I never set a deadline. Why? Because I want you to do it to your capacity. Because I don't know what other homeworks you get from school. I don't know what other homeworks your other teachers give you. But what I do know that you go to so many different classes, Mridanga classes, Kratal classes, swimming classes, these classes, drawing classes, art and craft classes. So if I also bombard with your homework, then you may not enjoy it. But actually, when I'm saying do it whenever you feel like, I'm also expecting that you will do it to your full capacity. Now, whether you are actually doing it or not, I don't know. Only you can judge yourself, yeah? Because I know that most of you never come back to me with your homework. You just disappear. Even I forget what the homework was. Forget about you doing it. But if you have the capacity, then I would strongly encourage you to do it. No, especially the last chapter was so beautiful. A lot of D's that I wanted somebody to put on PowerPoint, and you could have put it on one PowerPoint slide to say this is the person, this is the outcome, this is the person. Four Kumaras displaced, you know, Rudras disturbed, something like that. It would have taken you 5 minutes, but I can firmly believe that none of you did it to your full capacity. Lackadaisical, yeah.
Prabhuji, I didn't do it. So could I do it by next week?
You can do it whenever until the end of Kali Yuga. So you've got 427,000 years left to do it. Because in Satya Yuga, we don't need all this. You know, another Bhagavatam will come. Everything will be different. So you've got 427,000 years to go. Do it before that, yeah? Okay, so capacity and full capacity is what we are focusing on today. Next text. we've got
Prabhuji,
four-
I have a
Yes.
comment. But you said that we can do it till end of Kali Yuga. Won't we be dead?
It's not a literal statement, Yatin. It was a metaphorical statement. Text number whatever. 11. Dhruv?
Since you are my very obedient son, I ask you to beget children qualified like yourself in the womb of your wife. Rule the world in pursuance of the principles of devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus worship the Lord by performances of yajna.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. So, I'll read one more time and then you'll not look at the book and then raise your hand if you know the answer. Manu has asked Brahma to tell him decisively what he needs to do according to his capacity. Brahma said, I'm going to about to instruct you and I know you will do it to your full capacity. Now comes the instruction. What did Vidura ask? What did Manu and Satrupa do? We saw Manu and Satrupa's nature. Then we saw that Brahma is pleased with Manu and Satrupa. Now comes Brahma's decisive instructions to Manu and Satrupa. And I'll read it one more time Don't look at the book, be honest, and then raise your hand. Capture it. Comprehension skills I'm testing. Yeah, I'll read it out. Brahma said, since you are my obedient son, I don't want you to tell me anything more than just the instructions. Yeah, so focus on the instructions and write it down if you want, but don't look at it after you've written it down. Since you are my obedient son, I ask you to beget children qualified like yourself in the womb of your wife, who is Aprupa. Rule the world in pursuance of the principles of devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And you can answer me in your own words, not just verbatim from what the English is there, right? In your own understanding. And thus worship the Lord by performances of yajna. What did Brahma tell Manu and Satrupa to do? Or more so to Manu. Raise your hand. You can tell me just one. Aradhya, just one. One of the
Yes,
three.
okay.
Without looking at the book. Without looking at the book.
Yeah, I'm not going.
Okay. Okay.
So, Brahma told Manu that please beget sons that are qualified like yourself.
Very good. One instruction. Second instruction. Avyukt.
Now, the second instruction was like, I thought that was the only the instruction.
Okay, then why did you unmute me? Why did you put your hand up? Dhruv?
Rule the world.
Rule the world, yeah, religiously. And then third one, Shreya.
Worship the Lord by performances of yajna.
Worship. So let's bring it together. Three things he said. Beget children. If you remember, let's just keep it simple and then we'll elaborate on it. Beget children, rule the world, perform yajna. Beget children, matlab create progeny. Remember, Brahma is focused on progeny, rule the world, and worship and do yajna. Now, if you want to elaborate it, it's like beget the children which are of the same nature as you, who will be respectful, obedient, so on and so forth. Rule the world as a devotional service, as bhakti, and worship the Lord in forms of yajna, which is Sankirtana yajna for Kali Yuga. I want you to remember these three things as well. This is all coming in your quiz, mate. So we'll park it today here because we have seen Brahma speaking and he has given Maitreya wanted to know, Vidura wanted to know from Maitreya what did Brahma, Manu and Satrupa do. We saw Manu and Satrupa's disposition, their qualities, their characters, their mannerisms and all those things. Then Vidura, then Manu asked, how may I save you according to my capacity? Brahma said, I know you will save it to your fullest capacity. And these are my instructions. Create progeny, rule the world, do yajna. What else will Brahma do? Will Manu say, oh my goodness, I can't do these three. I don't want to rule the world. I don't want to create progeny. I don't want to do yajna. Will he say that? Or will he say, yes, boss? Will he be successful with his progeny? What else Brahma will tell Manu? That we will find out next week. For now, we will park it here. I'm happy to take any questions or comments for a few minutes and then we'll have some fun. Yes, Kashvika.
Database is right in front of me when you ask me the question.
Okay, that's nice. Database should always be front of you. But when I say don't look at the book, at that point in time,
The
you just take your book.
screen.
Yeah. At that point in time, I just take your eyes away. Anybody else? No? Okay, sharp 9 o'clock on my clock. Perfect timing to pause. Radha Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Manu and Satrupa ki jai, Vidura ki jai, Maitreya Muni ki jai, Sukadeva Goswami ki jai, Parikshit Maharaj ki jai.